Hello dear students, so welcome back. Once again we are going to discuss another important topic of producer's behavior, that is production cost. Under this we are going to find out various concepts of cost, cost function and their relationship. So which is very important for any production house to determine their price. So without delay, let's start our class. So as you all can see in the screen, today's topic cost or production cost. So in this class, we are going to discuss all these different topics, or content of the class will be cost and cost function. Then second topic or content is time element in cost. Then thirdly, we will discuss total, average and marginal cost and the relationships. And lastly, we will very brief discuss about the long run cost or long run cost curves. So the first part we are going to start cost and cost function. So when we are talking about cost, what is cost? Most of the times we think that cost and price, as a layman, cost and price we always combine together. Whenever we are trying to find out the price of something, we always ask the cost. So cost and price are the two different concepts. So when we say cost, cost is nothing but the expenditure. It is the production expenditure incurred during the process of production. So that means when we employ the factors of production in the production process or to produce something, we have to pay them. So the payment made to the factors of production is nothing but the cost of production. So cost of production is the expenditure incurred for hiring the factors of production. And cost function. Cost function shows the relationship between the output and the cost of production. Here, cost is the dependent variable and output is the independent variable. That means cost depends on output. As we increase the output, our cost will be increased. So cost is a function of output. So here mathematically we express C is a function of Q, where C is cost and Q is output, and F represent definitely the functional relationship. So cost is a function of output. Now part 2 we are going to find out the time element in cost. So already we know time element, but in cost also we are going to discuss the time element. So what is time element? As we all know, there are two time periods, short run and long run. So দীৰ্ঘকালীন আৰু হ্ৰস্বকালীন এই দুটা সময় আমাৰ অৰ্থনীতিত আমি ব্যৱহাৰ কৰোঁ. So what is short run? As we all know, short run is a time period where some factors are fixed, some are variable. So accordingly, what is short run cost? Short run cost over a period where some factors fixed while others are variable. So short run cost are the cost occurred for the variable factor basically. Fixed factor is to fixed. So short term costs are the cost over a period where some factors are fixed while some are variable. And long run costs are the cost over a period long enough to change all the factors of production. So short term cost, we have cost of variable factor, we have cost of fixed factor. But long run cost, we have only the cost of variable factors. Then comes total, average and marginal cost. মুঠ উৎপাদন, গড় উৎপাদন আৰু প্ৰান্তিক উৎপাদন. So these are the very important concept, and with the help of this we are going to find out the different concepts of cost and their relation. So what is total cost? Total cost is the combination of total fixed cost and total variable cost. Remember, here we are discussing cost from the short run point of view, not from the long run point of view. So traditionally there are two different time periods, short run and long run. So first we are discussing the short run cost. So in the short run, total cost is total fixed cost and total variable cost, because we have two variables, fixed variable and we have two factors, fixed factors and variable factors. So for fixed factor there is fixed cost, for variable factor there is variable cost. And when we combine these two together, we get the total cost. You see here, fixed cost arises due to fixed factor. Fixed cost do not change with the output. It remains fixed. No matter how much we increase in the short term output, fixed factor or fixed cost remain same, because fixed cost arises because of fixed factors like machinery, equipment, land, which we cannot change immediately. So it remains same and it will not change with the change in output. Fixed cost is also known as overhead cost, or sometimes it is called supplementary cost. But variable cost arises due to the variable factors. So variable factors are like labors, fuel, raw materials, whatever we are using, that is variable factors. So variable factors changes, so definitely with the change in output, and that is why the variable cost also varies with the output. So when we change the output or when we increase output, variable cost also increases. And variable cost also known as the prime cost of production. So now we are going to define separately the fixed cost curve, variable cost curve and total cost curve. So you see here what is total fixed cost curve and how we can derive the fixed cost curve from the fixed cost. See, with the increase in output from 0 to 4, you see fixed cost, here we have taken 10 in the table and it remains same throughout the period. And one important thing, that when output is 0, even at 0 level of output, fixed cost remains same. There is always a fixed cost, because for any production house, when you hire a building or when you are renting a house and you are not producing, but you have to pay the rent for that particular land or particular house, so cost is there, fixed cost is there although you are not producing. So even at 0 level of output, fixed cost will be there and it will remain same throughout the increase in output. So here it is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So every time it is same. Now when we put these figures in the diagram, then we will see that there is a curve which will be horizontal to the x-axis, because fixed cost doesn't change with the change in output. So in horizontal axis we have shown the increase in output, but on the vertical axis we have shown the cost which remains same. So fixed cost curve is always a horizontal curve to the x-axis. Then comes to variable cost. So in the variable cost, as I said, variable cost varies with the change of output. But when output is 0, there is no variable cost, because when we start producing only, we are starting using raw materials, we are starting using power, we are starting using labors. So when our production is not there, we will not spend on these variable factors. So that is why at 0 level of output, our variable cost is 0. And as we increase our output, our total variable cost increases. So like here it is 10, 18, 30, 45, it keeps on increasing. And when we put all this in the diagram, and we will see that our variable cost curve will be like this, upward sloping. It is curvy shape. We can say like inverted S type. Not fully, but it is increasing. Since cost is increasing, so curve is going upward. This is the total variable cost curve, which is an upward sloping curve, because as output increases, variable cost increases. Now comes to the differences between variable cost and fixed cost. So if we are asked what are the differences between fixed cost and variable cost, as you can see here, we can say that fixed costs are independent of output. As I said, that whether output is produced or not, it will remain same, but variable costs vary with the level of output. Fixed costs are the cost of fixed factors. Variable costs are the cost of variable factors like labor, raw materials. Fixed costs exist or arise even at the 0 level of output. As I said, these costs become 0 at the 0 level of output. That means variable cost 0 when output is 0. Fixed costs are found only in the short period. As I said, that fixed and variable, that difference is there only in the short period, because in the long run all factors are variable. Variable costs are seen in the short and long run period. So variable costs are in both short run period and in the long run period. Fixed cost, as I said, it is known as supplementary cost or overhead cost. but variable costs are called prime cost. Okay, so these are some basic differences of fixed and variable cost, and you can also include that fixed cost curve is a horizontal curve, and variable cost curve is a upward sloping curve. That like that also you can mention. So now comes to the total cost, which is the combination of total fixed cost and total variable cost. So here in this table we have combined both the total variable cost and total fixed cost, and this gives us the total cost at 0 level. Since there was only fixed cost, so we have total cost 10, but as output increases our variable cost increases, and as usual our total cost also increases. So in the diagram, see, when we put the curve, you see total cost curve starts from the point, here it is 10. Why? Because at 0 level of output there is a cost, that is 10. So that is why the curve is starting from the vertical axis, that is y-axis, and here it is 10. So this total fixed cost curve and total variable cost, when we combine them vertically, these two curves gives us the total cost. So total cost is the combination of total fixed cost and total variable cost, and it is an upward sloping curve because variable cost is increasing. So then comes the concept of average cost. So average cost is basically the cost per unit, and average cost always helps us to explain the cost output relation. So to explain cost and output relation, we need to have idea about the average cost concept. And average costs are of three different types. First one, average fixed cost. Second one, average variable cost. And the third one is average total cost or average cost also. So these three are the average cost concept, which is very important to define the cost output relation. So let us start with average fixed cost, which is the cost per unit of producing or fixed cost of producing per unit of commodities. So average fixed cost is the fixed cost of producing the commodity or per unit of the commodities. Okay, so here, as we remember, our total fixed cost was 10, 10, 10. As output increases, also it remains same. So when 0 level of output, it is 10. How we find average fixed cost? Total fixed cost, as I have given the formula. Here you can see that total average fixed cost is total fixed cost divided by units of output. So 10 divided by 0 is infinity, and okay, so here output, when output is 1, total fixed cost is 10. So 10 divided by 1 is 10 average fixed cost. Similarly, 10 by 2, 5. 10 by 3 is 3.3, and 10 by 4 is 2.5. So these are the average fixed cost. So as you see that average fixed cost is decreasing as we increase the level of output. So when we increase the level of output from 0 to 4, average fixed cost is decreasing. So starting point is infinity, so we don't know where it is starting. So 10, then 10, then 5, then 3.3, then 2.5. That is why the curve is like that. So in this curve you can see it is a downward sloping curve, and it is almost like L-shaped curve. So x-axis we have taken quantity, and y-axis we have taken average fixed cost. So when we put these figures in the diagram, we get a downward sloping average fixed cost curve, because as we keep on producing, the average fixed cost is reducing. Then next you can see in this average variable cost. So average variable cost of producing is the variable cost of producing per unit of output. It is the variable cost. So whatever our variable cost, when we divide total variable cost by the units of output, here you can see the formula is given. when we divide the total variable cost with the units of output, then we get the average variable cost. So here again our output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the total variable cost as we have taken earlier, same table, 0, 10, 18, 30, 45. So when we try to calculate ABC, what we get? We get 0, 10 by 1, 10, 18 by 2, 9, 30 by 3, 10, 45 by 4, 11.3. So you see, if we put this average variable cost figure in the diagram, we get a curve which is U-shaped. So average variable cost curve is a U-shaped curve. Why? Because you see it is starting at 10, then decreasing to 9, then again starts increasing. So initially average variable cost decreases, and after a point it starts increasing because of law of variable proportion. If you remember that productivity goes down, isn't it? So cost increases because of the applicability of the second stage of diminishing returns. The cost started increasing. So that is why the average variable cost curve is a U-shape. Initially cost decreases because of increasing returns to the increasing returns, then the cost started increasing because of diminishing returns. So that is why the cost curve is a U-shaped curve. So now the average cost or total average total cost or average cost. So average cost of producing is the cost of production per unit of output. So average cost is nothing but a total cost, or average total cost is the total cost divided by the units of output produced. So output 0 to 4, total cost 10, 20, 28. When we combine variable cost and fixed cost, then our total cost is like this: 10, 20, 28, 40, 55. And similarly, when we divide it, total cost by the output produced, we get the average cost, which is 0, 20, 14, 13.3, 13.8. So here you see our average cost is the shape of the average cost curve is a U-shaped curve. Okay, so why it is a U-shaped curve? Because the initially cost decreases and again it starts increasing. So like the average variable cost, average cost curve is also a U-shaped curve because of the decreasing cost, and after a point because of the increasing cost. So initially it decreases and then starts increasing. So that is why the curve we get is a U-shaped curve. So always remember, average cost curve is a U-shaped curve. So now if we are going to find out the relationship between average cost, average variable cost and average fixed cost, you can see here I have put the diagram along with the points. First point is that when average cost curve always lie above the average variable cost. You see, average cost curve, average cost curve, which is above the average variable cost, and it also above the average fixed cost, because average cost is the combination of average fixed cost and average variable cost, and that is why obviously it will be above the average variable cost. Okay, so second relation, that average variable cost reaches its minimum point at an output level lower than that of average cost. You see, average variable cost has its minimum output at point B. There are 2 points, point A and point B. So average variable cost reaches its minimum cost at output or at the point B. But in case of average cost, the minimum point is at point A. So that means what? The average variable cost reaches its minimum point before the average cost. So average cost still keeps on reducing. Why? Because our average fixed cost is still falling, and that is why the average variable cost finds its minimum point before the average cost. So average cost or to minimum point, B point, and then average variable cost or minimum point is B point, and average cost or minimum point is A. So B reaches before A, and average cost keeps on falling because of the average fixed cost. Last relationship between average cost and average variable cost is that as output increases, the gap between average cost and the average variable cost decreases. So initially gap increases, average cost and gap is more, average cost and average variable cost. But as soon as we increase the output, the gap between the average cost and average variable cost is decreasing. But remember, they never intersect each other. Although gap is decreasing, but they will never intersect each other. So this is the relationship between average cost, average fixed cost and average variable cost. Then we have another important cost concept, marginal cost. What is marginal cost? As we all know, the term marginal in economics always means addition. So marginal cost is also nothing but the addition made to the total variable cost or total cost. Since it is a short term, actually fixed cost remains same. So additional cost is always added to the variable cost, and that is why in the short term marginal cost is addition made to the total variable cost, we can say, or total cost also we can say. So if it is total variable cost, it is not wrong, because total variable cost only increases. Okay, so when the addition is made to the total cost due to production of one more unit of output is called the marginal cost. So here are the formulas. Marginal cost of nth unit is equal to total cost of nth unit minus total cost of n minus 1. Or we can also find out marginal cost is equal to change in the total cost divided by change in the quantity of output produced. So here delta is change, TC is total cost, and Q is the quantity produced. Okay. So in this table you can see our total cost schedule. If you remember, okay, there's a mistake here. It should be MC schedule. Anyway, output increases 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and total cost also increases 10, 20, 28, 40, 55. So as output increases from 0 to 1, our marginal cost becomes 10, because total cost increases from 10 to 20. So what is the addition made? Addition made is 10. So due to production of 1 unit, our cost increases by 10 units. When we produce the second unit, cost become 20 to 28. What is the additional cost? 8. So 8 is the marginal cost. Output 3, total cost 40, from 28 to 40. So that means what? How much is added? 12. Output 4, total cost becomes 55. So how much is added? 15. As you can see here, marginal cost initially decreases, and after a point it starts increasing, and that is why our marginal cost curve in the diagram you can see is also a U-shaped curve. So where initially marginal cost initially falls, and after a point it starts increasing. So that is why the shape of the curve is also U-shape. So now we have the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. So as we know, the average cost is a U-shaped curve and marginal cost is also a U-shaped curve. So when we put these two curves together, then we will get like this type of diagram. Average cost and marginal cost always lies below. So from this diagram we can find out the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. So what is that? Number one, when average cost is falling, you can see in the diagram, when average cost is falling, it falls up to point E. Okay, when average cost is falling till point E, MC is less than AC. You see, MC curve is below the AC curve. Okay, that is the first relation. Second relation, when average cost is rising, that is after point T, average cost starts increasing. And you see here, at that point MC is more than AC. Marginal cost curve lies above the average cost curve. So when average cost is falling, marginal cost lies below average cost curve. When average cost is increasing, marginal cost lies above average cost curve. When average cost is constant, or we can say at point E, it is constant or it is minimum. When average cost is constant or minimum, at that point MC is equal to AC. Average cost is always equal to marginal cost. So at point E, you see marginal cost is intersecting the average cost. That means marginal cost always intersect or passes through the minimum point of the average cost. So when we are drawing the diagram of average cost and marginal cost, we always have to remember that when we draw the marginal cost, we have to draw in such a way that it should passes through the minimum point of the average cost, because when average cost is minimum, that is the point when marginal cost intersect average cost. Here it is at point E. Now MC is always to the left of AC and cuts AC from its lowest point. So that is what I said. MC starts always the left point of AC, and it always cuts AC at its minimum point or the lowest point. So that is the way we have to draw average cost and marginal cost if we are drawing to find out the producer's equilibrium. So this is the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. Okay. Then comes our long run cost. So long run cost, we can see here in the long run, since all inputs are variable, so it is a long run. So you for your actually syllabus, we don't need much about long run, just we have to have the basic idea how it looks. So in the long run, all inputs are variable. There is no fixed factor, so that is why there is only the variable cost or long run cost. There are two important costs in the long run. One is long run average cost and the long run marginal cost. Long run average cost and long run marginal cost. These are the two important costs that is can be seen in the long run. And long run average cost curve is also a U-shaped curve, which is little flatter than the short run average cost curve. Short run cost will be little more U-shaped. It will be a flatter U-shape. So and similarly, the long run marginal cost curve is also a U-shaped curve, which passes through the minimum point of the long run average cost curve. So in the diagram you can see I have shown long run average cost curve LAC and long run marginal cost curve LMC. It passes through the minimum point of LAC curve, that is point A. So long run average cost curve and the long run marginal cost curves are also U-shaped curve. So I hope this video of cost, this class of cost help you all to understand the cost function, cost output relation, and the cost curve. So most important here is to know the cost curve, shape of the cost curve, and the relationship between average cost, fixed cost, and marginal cost. So when you know about that, when you know the shape of the total fixed cost curve, total variable cost curve, average variable cost curve, average fixed cost curve, average cost curve, then we can easily find out the producer's equilibrium, because these are the curves that we are going to use to find out the equilibrium position of a producer. So in the next class we will come with one more important topic, that is revenue. So with the help of cost and revenue, we will find out producer's equilibrium. So till then, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.